Does Pogačar need to win all these mountain stages in order for that math to play out, or does he just need to get a lot of points?
He would need to win both mountain stages, assuming he does not take intermediate points.
Okay.
Which that would be a little aggressive.
And when we after the break, we'll break down the profile and see where the actual sprint is and what are the chances of him actually being up there going for them.
How bad do you think he wants this green?
I can't imagine. I mean,
I think he wants all three.
But thinking about you guys, you would not even consider being.
Of course not. But we're never even in a position.
No.
Just on Bernardino, he won twice on the Champs-Élysées in yellow. Wow. 79 and 1982.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Move podcast, brought to you each and every day by Ketone IQ. I'm joined right here to my left by Sir Bradley Wiggins. Got a lot of sightings around town of you just chilling in the short shorts.
Yeah.
It's a big hit. By the way, we are in Aspen, Colorado. It's a small town. So I get...
and we get people that watch you walking by and watch other people's reaction. They watch you walk by, they go, who the hell is that? Like... in awe of your stature and short shorts.
Tats, yoked, short shorts, retro Jordans.
Aspen will never be the same.
Yeah, dog. Also, George Hincapie, Mr. George Hincapie over there. I got to say something about George because we started earlier in the tour talking about Love Island. Man, my man watches Love Island incessantly. It was all breaking news. I didn't know this 20 years later. More than 20 years, was in the running to go on The Bachelor, right in the middle of a 7-year run of winning tours. The guy, how was that going to work out? Yeah,
Johan would have been thrilled.
Johan would have loved that. Yeah, Johan, the guy that wouldn't let you take a computer or a phone to the Tour de France.
He would not have been pleased.
George is a little behind on his fitness. He has been on set of The Bachelor each and every day.
You stayed pretty fit during Stars on Mars, though.
You know, like I said earlier, and you brought that up earlier. I said I haven't barely recovered from that, so it's not nice to bring that back up again. But what I was going to say about Love Island is now I'm stuck at home with my almost 15-year-old daughter, who she has it on. Like I can't even walk through the living room anymore. It is all Love Island. It's unbelievable. Also, the professor, Spencer Martin, right over there. Wait, where were we? Stage 17. Jonathan Milan extending his lead in the green jersey. But before we talk about that, Alain, we got a two-parter for Alain today. Obviously, each and every day, Alain tells us where we start and finish. We also have a second clip of Alain clarifying the pronunciation. That's actually how you say it, of yesterday's stage winner. So Alain, where'd we go today? Stage 17?
Stage 17 from Bolène to Valence. From Bolène to Valence.
I hate that. And then, of course, yesterday on Mont Ventoux, what a ride. All 114 pounds of him. That still blows me away. As we would say it, I don't know, Valentine... Puri Pantra or something. But Alain, thank you for sending this in. How do we say it?
It's Valentin Paré Peintre. Valentin Paré Peintre.
We messed that one up.
Yeah, we screwed that up here at the Move. Le Move. Paré Peintre. Nasty finish in the rain. I didn't watch a whole lot of the race, I'd be honest with you, but weather seemed to be good, and then the rain rolled in, and as soon as that happened, it got my attention. I'm like, this is not good. And sure enough, it had an impact on the finish and made Jonathan Milan's job a lot easier.
Yeah. It was a sketchy finish.
Sketchy. Slippery.
A lot of roundabouts. I'm surprised there wasn't more crashes, actually.
I agree.
But and then the crash happened where we least expected it.
Yeah.
I think with K to go, was it right at the banner there? And at first, I thought it might have been the barriers and the way the barriers came in at the K2Go that caused it. But from the overhead shot, we saw the FDJ rider was quacking with the Cofidis guy with the NL in between, and they went down. But the luckiest man today, I thought, was Tim Merlier to stay up.
Oh, if you watch the replay of that crash, I mean, it was insane. His bike handling skills are incredible. Not just not to over brake, not to panic, and just avoid guys' bikes flying right into them. Just super impressive. But to go back from 25K to go, 30K to go, when it starts raining and the directors are yelling in these guys' ears like it's raining at the finish, the stress that brings on the peloton. Almost 3 weeks into the Tour de France, where you may have not crashed yet. You're like, oh man, I got to try to get a result here, and there's a good chance, probably 50-50, I'm going to crash.
Yeah. Also, you get half the peloton straight away switch off and go, right, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. I remember in our day when it would start to rain. I mean, I think we would even preempt that. I mean, immediately our question was, is it raining at the finish?
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, it sucks when it rains anytime, but you don't want to come into a
and back in that day it was 1K. So if you only had 1K before the finish line, that you were safe in terms of crashing. Now it's 5K, which is a lot better rule.
It brings up an interesting point, because imagine back in the day if it was 1K, because this crash happened right there, guys. I think we're still sliding through the 1K banner. I'd have to go back and watch it.
We've actually had.
I was still sliding. Yeah, I get same time. I was sliding.
I don't know if you remember, and Spencer probably can look it up. There was one year we crashed hard. We came into a narrow section, barricades ever, and you got stuck behind the crash. I was on the floor, and all of a sudden we look up. We're right underneath the 1K banner. Yeah. So we're like, we're good. We don't have to worry. We don't have to rush to the finish line. Like, we're not going to lose any time.
Yeah.
And now they have this rule, like if there's no crash, you have to be more than 3 seconds behind for there to be a time split. So 3 seconds at 40 miles an hour, that's like 50 meters probably. So
I didn't know about that rule.
Yeah. So GC riders could actually ride pretty far back and be pretty safe without the risk of a time split.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. That's the safety zone. Today's show brought to you by Roka. They have completely reinvented this this class of eyewear. Glasses optimized for performance. No other eyewear brand can keep up with what these guys are doing. They just keep making their stuff better and better. And by the way, too, their prescription glasses have the exact same technology as their performance glasses. I am very glad also to report that Sir Bradley went down to Carl's Pharmacy the other day and bought him some jank ass reading glasses for like $4.99, and he now has, look at this, he's rocking a pair of black. Now that's way better. That's way better and on brand for us. Unbelievably lightweight, the best optics on the market. They never slip, no matter how sweaty you get. Also working with the Special Forces here in the United States, which is awesome. Hand built to order in my hometown of Austin, Texas. The Move listeners get 20% off. Just go to Roka, R-O-K-A, Roka, enter the code THEMOVE at checkout. Also today brought to you by Element. You hear us talk about it all the time. I do sweat my face off. Brought myself to ride with George yesterday. Wasn't even that. It was overcast. It was kind of cool. I was sweating like crazy. Later in the show, we have a fun story about our mountain bike ride. Totally unexpected, but I was out there sweating, bottles full of Element, game changer. That is my go-to electrolyte mix. 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium, no sugar, no gluten, no artificial. Ooh, whoa, it's getting long, this tour. I mean, we're coming in deep into the third week. No artificial ingredients, no BS. And best of all, if you don't like it, give it to a friend and Element will refund you. Get a free 8-count sample pack of Element's most popular drink mix flavors with any purchase at drinklmnt.com/themove. That's drinklmnt.com/themove. Got the new flavor.
I heard yesterday, my daughter said she saw a whole shelf of them in Target, which is a huge deal.
Dang.
Yeah, that's a
longtime partners of ours. I remember when we first did Element. People were like, what? What's that? And we were just so obsessed. Now nobody's going, what?
I know, they're everywhere now. Love to see it.
By the way, too, and I do see there's one here. Who took all the dream shot from the studio here? It's a big deal.
I'm not going to lie. Every day I take one, sneak one in my bag for sleeping. I love it.
Yeah, I grabbed some too.
Well, it is basically all gone, and I'm talking C and the douche is gone. We launched it last week right here on The Move. They've sold it out, over 50,000 bottles. If you are one of the more than 50% of Americans who struggle with sleep, by the way, I'm curious. I say 50%. That's the stat. 50% of Americans. I mean, it's got to be the same all over the world. Maybe less because we managed to screw everything up. But nonetheless, a high percentage of people all over the world struggle with sleep. But if you're one of those folks, you should try the Dream Shot. You can pre-order right now at The Feed. Don't forget to feed the animals. TheFeed.com. Next delivery available on August the 4th.
Yep. Speaking of the feed, Matt dropped off this other product, Nitric Oxide Pro. I've been using this in the gym. Helps me train at altitude.
Yeah, I think actually Lance started taking it because he wasn't whining as much on yesterday's ride, which I loved.
I did feel better.
It's Nitric Oxide Pro. It boosts your blood flow. Originally developed for people with high blood pressure. I use it definitely. I can definitely feel it when I'm riding, but especially when I'm playing tennis.
Yeah, and it comes with these test strips as well, which you put in your mouth, leave it for 5 or 6 seconds, take it out, and you can see how much nitric oxide you have in your body by the color on the strip.
Nothing about the blood flow.
Well, it increases blood flow like everywhere, so I'm told.
Kind of weird that, yeah, I won't say it. This is a kid. This is a family show. These feed guys do have it figured out. They've got all the new stuff. The concept, as we've said for many, many years, is one of those things where it's a head scratcher. I'm like, how did I not think of this?
Yep, new Nitric Oxide Pro, 2 pills a day, and it lasts 24 hours.
All right.
Before we kick off talking about stage 17, just a moment here. I grew up a little Dub T kid in Plano, Texas, big into the metal scene. I was heartbroken yesterday to see the passing of the Prince of Darkness, Mr. Ozie Osborne, at 76 years old. Way too young for the Prince of Darkness to pass. I will never forget. I went, me and my buddy John Boggin, we're in Plano. We drove over to Fort Worth in 1987 to see Ozzie. It was an amazing night. And the opening act that night, 1987 for Ozzie, was a small up-and-coming band, Metallica. Think about that show. 1987, Ozzie, may you rest in peace. Loved it.
You said he just played 10 days ago, right?
He played a show July the 5th in his hometown of Birmingham. He definitely was, he had to sit, looked tired. But nonetheless, played in front of tens of thousands of people. And Liz, before we got on here, asked, I think Liz assumes I've met everybody in the world, which I've met a lot of them, not everybody. Ozzie is one person I never got to meet. And but I have been asked many times over the years of my other show, The Forward, if there's anybody you could have on the show, like who's a top 3 guest. Ozzie Osborne was always a top 3 guest. This guy was nuts. But he also reinvented himself a dozen times. And anyhow, sad to see. Take care of yourselves, folks. On that note, let's talk about a bike race. I grew up a metal kid. I love metal. I still love metal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, I think you done.
No, I mean, like
we're talking cycling.
I listen to Sirius XM, and I have the presets. Like a lot of people have presets on the radio. Ozzie's Boneyard is one of my presets. I go the Spectrum, Classic Vinyl, Classic Rewind, Chris Stapleton Radio, and Ozzie's Boneyard, and the Bridge. I mean, how's that for an eclectic mix?
It's perfect.
I mean, who jumps between the Bridge? We're talking about James Taylor, Hall & Oates.
No Latino music in that presets?
Zero Latino music, and then one click over is Ozzie's Boneyard. We're going Pantera, we're going Metallica, we're going Ozzie. Megadeth. We're going, you name it. I'm a well-rounded.
What's on your playlist, Bradley?
Bit of everything. Yeah, a bit of everything.
Any Latin music?
No.
Because with those short shorts, you going around town.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, I have video of him dancing in town.
Hola.
Colin, you probably have it somewhere.
So Jonathan Milan wins the stage.
Yeah.
Spencer's like, can we go back? Can we go
I
back
need
the
to
bike race?
I got something against Encyclopedia. Like you said, there's no way they can control a break. I think they did a phenomenal job in letting 4 really strong guys go, but not panicking, keeping them within 2 minutes. Quinn Simmons, MVP of today's stage. What an incredible ride. Bradley, I mean, I don't know if you agree with me, but I was in shock of how strong he was today.
It's his job, isn't it? You know, it's like praising the
But
mailman.
you're 3 weeks into the Tour de France.
It's like praising the mailman for delivering your mail.
It's Tade's job to win Flanders, the Tour. So it's not, you don't have to praise him for it. He's just doing his job.
Look, it's his job, but not only is he controlling the breakaway, he's going after the breakaway, the counterattacks. He's attacking himself, and then he's going back on the front and pulling. I was extremely impressed with his job today.
I think the team, it showed when the team came across the line with him today, just how much they valued his efforts.
Exactly.
Because it did, they did a really good job. They let a group go, locked it down. They all blocked the road. The road was small enough that they could do it. And then it got dicey. Geraint Thomas, your friend, was winding it up on the climb. Jonathan Milan dropped mid-stage. And then Quinn has to like weld it back together after that. And then he's holding it together in the finish when Wout van Aert's off the front. So I thought it was pretty impressive from
Super impressive.
It must be getting tired. Like it
doesn't look like it to me.
That's right. But I agree with Bradley. Like, okay, right, of course, that's your job. But he's been at the front of the bike race more than pretty much anybody. I mean, if they at the end of the tour, he
needs to win most aggressive rider.
They will reward somebody with most aggressive rider, or hard to argue against him. But he's human, right? So he's seemingly not getting tired, which is pretty. Guy's a beast.
According to Johan, that was his specific job to come to the tour to do. That was the whole part of him coming to the tour, was on the agreement that he does that job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why when he was in the break 2 weeks ago now, was it 2 weeks, best part? They weren't best pleased with him, apparently.
Because and we should say, so that was super important work. They probably were worried about it because they knew they would need him for this.
Yeah.
Milan gets 11 points at the intermediate sprint because I believe he was fifth, and then 50 points at the finish. He now has a lead. We have a listener, a mathematician, that sent me a model, so we can model out the green jersey battle.
That shows you how. I mean, that's how big time we are.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just chatting live with mathematicians.
And basically, assuming I think it's going to be hard for Milan to score points from here on in, maybe until Paris. But if it really comes down to like if Pogacar wins these mountain stages and wins in Paris, he wins green. If he doesn't win green. So it was a big day for Little Trek. And we were trying to find the last person to win the green jersey at the points jersey, the Ciclamino at the Giro, and the green jersey at the Tour.
In the same year.
In the same year, because a lot like Mark Cavendish won it in adjacent years. Same with Peter Sagan. We could not find a single person that's done this. So it would be super impressive.
It'd be history making.
And the way I see it, Pogacar didn't go all in for winning Mount Ventoux. He didn't go all in for winning Hautacam. I think he's going to go all in for winning Paris, in my opinion. And then I think there's going to be a chance for breakaways in the next 2-3
Who's the
days.
last yellow jersey?
You like that, right?
Is it Bernard?
Think about how iconic that would be.
Is that
Eno?
maybe? I don't know.
I think
the
it was
answer.
Eno.
Oh, like on the sprint on the Champs Elysees.
Broke away.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, I think you can say that word.
Okay.
We have to check with our friends over there, but I think we can say any word. I think we're just really, we're being professional and mature, and
We're being ourselves.
I don't know about that. We're being 90% of ourselves. You should have seen the pre-show. You'd have seen the real me.
Yeah.
Because I was fired up about something that I'm thinking about talking about, and I'm looking at my North Star. So Bradley, and we're gonna have a.
I'm just
And George over, he's like, yeah. I don't know if we should talk about that.
Do I talk like that? Really?
Maybe you save that for the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift.
This is exactly what you said.
Not the way that sounded.
Can
but,
I say back to the mathematician who you're chatting with over there? Based on his math, we were talking about him before the show too. Does Pogacar? That's a whole nother discussion. Does Pogacar need to win all these mountain stages in order for that math to play out, or does he just need to get a lot of points?
He would need to win both mountain stages, assuming he does not take intermediate points.
Okay.
Which that would be a little aggressive.
And when we after the break, we'll break down the profile and see where the actual sprint is and what are the chances of him actually being up there going for them.
How bad do you think he wants this green?
I can't imagine. I mean,
I think he wants all three.
But thinking about you guys, you would not even consider being.
Of course not. But we're never even in a position.
No.
just on Bernardino. He won twice on the Champs Elysees in yellow. 79 and 1982.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Pretty good bike rider.
So, and by the way, too, this, Jonathan Milan missed the crash today, but these crashes, I mean, he was, a couple bike links from him. This changes the whole equation and conversation.
He's out of green.
I mean, Tim Merlier is on the ground, not on the ground, but
Yeah.
certainly misses out on the bunch sprint. You're just that close every day to.
Every day. And what's interesting about, Lidl Trek is one of the most dominant teams this year. They controlled the whole race today, but both times Jonathan Milan's won the stage of the Tour de France, he's by himself in the last 2K. Bumping and grinding, doing his own thing. Super impressive that he's able to pull those wins off.
We're going to go to a little break here for Peacock here right quick. But when we come back, our friend Michael White from the White Line will be with us to talk about, we had him on the show last year, obviously the terrible, tragic death of his son, Magnus, but a lot of updates there, a lot of potential legislation. Folks, this should matter to each and every one of you who rides a bike, listening to or watching this show, because you're out there. You're out there every day, whether you know it or not, risking your life, right? You're interacting with cars. We're going to hear from Michael, and I'm looking forward to that right after the break, 2:32. All right, everybody, welcome back to The Move. As I said right before the break, we are joined by Michael White. Michael, I think you're here on Zoom with us.
Yes, I am.
There he is. Hey, how are you?
All right. It's been challenging year since last time.
Challenging year. It was so moving having you on the show last year. I think for me, just as the host of the show, we get so many questions about American talent, up and coming talent. Obviously, Magnus was on that list. And just as a reminder for the listener, Magnus killed outside of Boulder out on a training ride, which just, as a parent, unspeakable, unimaginable. I guess the updates are you guys had the trial took place. You can give us a snippet on that. And then, but I think moving forward, you've just been, and kudos to you and your wife and everybody around you for being so active in Magnus's honor and making sure that, and as I said going into the break, I think it's safe to say that most people listening to this show ride their bikes. They ride them outside. They interact with cars. I think we all know that it can be dangerous, but we can do more, right? We can do more to help protect cyclists, not just in Colorado, but all over the United States. And so just to maybe bring us up to speed on what you're working on, and certainly how we as a show and we as an audience can help.
Yeah, so we're actually coming up on the 2-year mark, which is next week, because he was hit on July 29th, 2023. It was his last ride before leaving for the World Championships in mountain biking that were in Scotland that year. And I just said, we did go through the trial. That was the end of March. It was a week-long trial. They found the driver guilty of felony vehicular homicide, and she was sentenced June 13th to 4 years in prison. And, what came out of that, obviously, last time I was on the show, we were promoting the Ride for Magnus that we were doing. And that really kicked off a lot of our legislative efforts. We had Representative Joe Neguse from Colorado come speak, and he pledged to bring a bill about automatic emergency braking. And he did. And he introduced it at the end of last year and reintroduced it in May this year. And for those of you that aren't familiar with it, it's named the Magnus White Cyclist Safety Act. It's House Bill number 3649. And it's
so that's that a state bill or a federal bill?
This is a federal bill.
Great.
So
great.
We were just in DC all last week meeting with representatives and congressmen to get their support behind the bill. And what the bill does is it requires automatic emergency braking in all new vehicles to detect pedestrians, cyclists, motorcyclists, and scooter riders like Lime scooters. There's a current National Highway Transportation bill, NHTSA, not bill, but ruling that requires new cars to protect pedestrians, but that's not a law. That's just a ruling. This would be a law, and it expands it to protect everybody outside the vehicle like that. And, coming from what we learned in the case, Magnus was hit from behind at 60 miles an hour and the driver passed out. And that's why there was a criminal element. There's criminal reasons why she passed out. This could have saved Magnus' life had she had it in her car. And this technology exists. We know it exists in Europe and in Chinese vehicles.
Yeah, I mean that's I did a hit with Malcolm Gladwell not long ago talking about this very thing about autonomous vehicles, self-driving vehicles. I mean, there is a future, right? Where none of us drive, right? Or certainly we might drive a little, but we're helped a lot. But that's so anything. I guess my hope here is that any acceleration of that is just again. It's funny. I get asked all the time. You ever get scared out riding on the roads? And I do. Like I spent most of my career being followed by a car, being protected, not really worrying about what was coming behind me. But now when I go out, I'm just an old guy riding my bike, and I get terrified. And I know that everybody watching or listening to the show has that same feeling a lot of times. Now it depends upon the road you're on, or do you feel safe on a shoulder, or are you in a protected bike lane? But this is we don't need things. We certainly don't need our children being taken from us, our greatest hopes in the sport of cycling being taken from us. But just as participants and as lovers of the sport, we don't want to go out and worry about that. So this is God's work, man. I appreciate you doing it.
Yeah, thank you. There's there's not enough bike lanes that can be built.
That's right.
And we know infrastructure is being cut left and right now. So, this is one way that, this problem has to be tackled many ways. Yep. This is one way. And then the average life cycle of a car is 10 to 13 years. So within 10 to 13 years, all these vehicles can have AEB systems in them. Yeah. And death rates and crash rates can go way down.
And just a reminder for the folks listening, this happened basically in Boulder, Colorado, right? This is, if you didn't know any better, you'd say this is the cycling capital of America, right? For lack of a better, there's a couple other spots, but this didn't happen in some redneck town in the middle of nowhere. This is Boulder, right? So if it's happening there, it's happening everywhere.
Yeah, with a huge shoulder too. Yeah. So if you were riding on that road, you'd think, oh, I'm on the shoulder, I'm fine. But it's like straight road as well.
There was just an Ironman, a couple weeks ago on the same road. So it's a very popular cycling route, designated bike route. Yeah. And, I don't know if you printed out, but I handed you a list. And when we went with the senators and congressmen last week, death of every cyclist. And then what I sent you guys was in the Austin area, Lance. Yeah. And so your representative, Mike McCall, we met with him as well. And there were 454 fatalities of cyclists and pedestrians from 2001 to 2023. Just 9 mentions in the media. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so no one really is aware of how big this problem is. Whereas, Magnus, he's a big story, and has so far to date over 6,000 news articles written about him and the work we've been doing in his name. And so if we can use Magnus to change things, use him as a catalyst.
Beast.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, give us a call to action. I want to make sure folks are, this is such a, you're learning the game fast. The game of dealing with politics and politicians and legislation and how it all works. But if there's anything, I think this kind of comes down to the individual listeners being made aware and just sort of either flooding the phone lines or just making sure that their representatives are aware that this matters to them. So if there's anything the Move listener can do, then please let us know.
We have lots of Democratic co-sponsors on the bill. We have the companion bill that's going to be sponsored by Senator Hickenlooper and Senator Andy Kim out of New Jersey. But what they can do is we need the first Republican to get on. We met with a lot of Republicans out in D.C. and they're all supportive of it. But D.C. is politics. And we got to play that game, and they have to play that game. So we really need the first Republican to get on, and then it'll be a truly bipartisan bill because it is life and death in this situation is not partisan.
Yeah, and then go to the website to help support or to get information.
Yeah, exactly. You can learn about the bill there and go into details. It's not a incredibly long bill. It's only 1 page long.
And is that thewhiteline.org? Michael?
Yes, the white line.
All right, folks. So that's it. So it's the whiteline.org. That's all you got to know. And that'll kind of help you navigate George, you know all these Republicans.
Yeah, George.
George is he's from South Carolina. He knows all these. I'm from Texas. I should talk.
Yeah.
Michael, thank you so much, and as always, just so it's a horrible story, but again, you're doing great work in Magnus's honor, and we will always support that. So thank you for coming on. Thanks for the incredible effort.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Michael.
Bye-bye.
That's just, I'm serious. Like when I go ride in Austin, like y'all just go check out my Strava. Like you see me, like you got to zoom in. I'm finding sidewalks, back road, alleyways, go early. Like it freaks me out. I do. I mean, you probably still ride with like a follow car and like bottles of food and George out there training, doing 40-20s. You know, he's got the team behind him. I'm just an old man. I mean, I'm serious. I ride with a light on dude. That's why I love the mountain bike.
Yeah.
No cars. Yeah. Like it just freaks me out.
Yeah.
Speaking of mountain bike, George, strong armed me yesterday to go ride with him again. And I was trying to, I said, yeah. You remember you text me like, what you want? Yeah. I said, yes.
You said yes.
He goes.
I was kind of shocked. I wasn't expecting it.
He's like, wait, is this the right number?
And we had a fun ride.
We had a fun ride. So we're out there ripping around, and we come up. We're in Sky Mountain Park, which is just not far from the studio. Great single track out there. And I know they police this Sky Mountain Park for e-bikes.
I did not know that until yesterday.
And you see the park rangers out there a lot. So we come up at the top of Viewline Trail, and there's this park ranger sitting right there. And I had a rule that if we're going to go out, I ride in the front on the single track so I can dictate the pace and not suffer too much. Just a little suffer.
And we all know Lance is very unsociable, so I started a conversation with the park ranger.
So we get up there, and I say to the lady, I said, ma'am, you need to check this guy's, I believe he's on an e-bike. I said to the park ranger, and I'm not sure if she's figuring it out yet, but she says, we catch a lot of people up here on e-bikes. And I said, oh, I know, I've heard. And she said, well, you guys were coming up really fast. And yeah, it almost fooled me. She said, I didn't know if it was Max Tam or Lance Armstrong. At this point, I'm like, oh boy, time for us to get going. And of course, George's like, well, this is Lance Armstrong. I didn't know. I don't know if she knew or not. Anyhow, she says, oh, that's funny. She said, I ticketed 2 ladies last summer in Sky Mountain Park. And their only excuse was that Lance Armstrong told me I could ride my e-bike up here. That's what they said.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
And I'm like, that's pretty perfect for cycling.
Yeah.
Let's just blame it all on old Lance.
That's pretty clever. Like, that's good excuse making in the moment, right?
Yeah.
You get caught and it's like,
they still got tickets though.
I remember a story, speaking of Boulder, and I don't know if you live there, Spencer, but this is going back 20, 30 years ago. But if you went down to Boulder PD and, because people would back then ride with no phone, no ID, and you roll a stop sign or whatever, you get ticketed. The amount of unpaid tickets in Boulder County for a certain Eddie Merckx was like astronomical. These guys get pulled over and be like, I don't have my ID. My name's Eddie. Eddie. I don't know if that's true. I heard that story a long time ago.
A lot of them are yours, aren't they, Spencer?
Yeah, you can actually roll stop signs now in Boulder. You don't have to stop.
You can roll them here in the city of Aspen.
Yeah, it's nice.
You have the right of way.
That.
Yeah. So I know all these cranky people. Hey, you didn't stop. I said, yo,
we gotta look.
I don't have to stop.
We gotta do that in South Carolina.
Yeah. Just make sure there's not a car coming. I guess I should say.
South Carolina. They're still driving around looking for that balloon. Now, whatever y'all do not go shoot the balloon. Remember that? They had this balloon. We couldn't figure out what it was.
Are you imitating my neighbor right now? Jake Honeycutt?
Were you on that? The governor, where are we going? The governor came out and said, folks, no matter what you do not go out and try to shoot the balloon. That's what they said in the state of South Carolina.
Hey, it's a great place to live.
Today's show brought to you by Ketone IQ. If y'all couldn't tell, I had a couple ketones this morning before I rolled down to the gym. I'm on one today. I'm on one today, and I blame Ketone IQ. I took the classic shot. I didn't need any more caffeine. They do have a caffeinated option. 5 grams of ketones plus 100 milligrams of caffeine. I love it. I don't start a day or a workout anytime without it. Scientific research totally backs it up. The numbers don't lie. Sprint power boosted by 19%, peak power 13%, fatigue 10%, faster recovery, improved blood flow, et cetera, et cetera. Take your shot. Get 20% off your order at ketone.com/TheMove and use the code THEMOVE. Boom. Last one of the day. Join me here, George. Are you ready to unlock your cycling potential? Join is the #1 training app that puts a professional cycling coach right in your pocket. You don't need a big goal to benefit from training. Join helps you stay fit, focused, and consistent even when there's no event in sight. Join keeps it interesting with challenges, variety, and smart progression. Over 400 World Tour level workouts for road, mountain bike, and gravel. Join creates personalized training plans that adapt to your schedule and performance in real time. Designed by experts with World Tour level experience, Join helps cyclists of all levels maximize progress while avoiding overtraining. Join is your #1 cycling training app. You can now test it out 30 days for free. Download Join today and improve your ride 30 days free. What else? Tomorrow's stage. No.
What's the profile look like?
We were kicking it around before the show. Every Grand Tour has what they call the Queen stage, the Vuelta, La Tapa Reina, the Giro, I don't know, whatever the hardest. This looks to be perhaps the Queen stage. Sure. 5,400 meters of climbing, 3 HC climbs. On the shorter side too, right? Look at that, 171K. That's, I mean, and we could go down and break the.
Well, that's not shorter because those climbs are long.
Well, you've got
hours wise,
but total up the HCs, you've got 171 total kilometers of the stage, 2140. You've got 66 kilometers of it going uphill. It's pretty nasty.
And that's the hardest climb I've done in Europe. That Col de la Loze. I did it last year. I don't know if Gabrielle's.
Well,
got
let's break
pictures.
down. Let's look at Glandon first because it's not exactly. It's a stair stepper, but
Yeah.
So you get some relief at certain times. This is just a little warm up, and then you hit the second climb of the day, the Madeleine. There's no reprieve at all. Almost 20 kilometers long, at 8%. And then to the climb you just referenced, George. Did I ever do that? Because
you've done Courchevel, but there's a new road. The last 6 kilometers, or 4 to 6 kilometers, is a new road that they just built a couple years ago, and there's ramps of like 14-15%, super wide open. It is really,
and the
really
altitude
hard.
is very high.
Yeah,
like,
very
very
high.
high.
And not only that, but you go back to the profile because I'm pretty sure when I did it last year, like the actual climb starts and it's like a 25K climb, but before that you climb like 5K to get to the actual climb. So it's insane.
Officially, the final climb is 26.4 kilometers, which is a long ways.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
and there's like gradual 5K climbing before you get to that. But go back because I also wanted to point out the other huge race that's going on is the Green Jersey race.
Yeah,
and if you see, like, it's not that far into the stage, 23 kilometers into the stage. A guy like Jonathan Milan goes full gas to get this. He may not make the time cut. So this is going to be interesting.
Well, because the climbers are all going to be going.
Yeah, because
into the
he's one of the first guys getting dropped right now. So if he goes all out for that point sprint, which he might have to, I mean, he might not make the time cut. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Now, if his whole team waits for him and they kind of pace him throughout the day, he'll make it. But it's going to be a very tough day.
And if they enforce the time cut.
And if they enforce the time
You
cut.
finished at Courchevel in 2005.
Yep.
Yeah, Valverde won.
Yep.
Not
all the way up.
Not
all the way up.
Yeah.
Not all the way up.
And George, you remember when it was like Vingegaard was going to win, but the moto stalled and Felix Gall won, and they finished they like descended into Courchevel from Lowe's. Was this the opposite side of this?
I'm pretty sure it's the opposite side.
Okay.
Yeah. So this side, you go up through all the Courchevel villages. It's beautiful, like cool towns. And then you get up the last 6Ks, like middle of nowhere, steep ramps, 15%. I did it with our boy Poppy last year. That was very impressive. Very impressive.
By the way, too, Courchevel is like the Aspen of France. That's where all the.
Kind of want to go skiing there. It's on my bucket list.
I'm sure you do.
Anybody has a place in Courchevel, hit me up. I'm America's favorite house guest.
The man's being serious. Part B and C to that. Part B, Jizzy's accepted, please.
Yeah.
And part C, GoFundMe on my new bike team.
Correct.
I was thinking how nice it'd be just final stage Sunday, just walk across the street, get in a Jizzy to go home. That'd be pretty nice.
That would be nice.
finally got the appeal of the private jet when I envisioned that.
That would be nice. Yeah. Are we still 15 teams without winning a stage? We
Yeah, because a little Trek won.
Still 15 teams without winning a stage. Tomorrow, it's going to be a madhouse to get in that breakaway, but a lot of these guys are going to go in it. Lenny Martinez has got to get in there to get the
KOM points.
Points. Going to be interesting.
Be a fun stat to look up because you can see, you just look forward for the next few days through Paris. I mean, you can kind of predict which of these. We can certainly almost predict which riders will win, but you could certainly start to predict which teams will win. What's the record for amount of teams that did not win a stage in any Tour de France? I mean, 15's it's going to stay 13, 14, 15. So that seems like that might be a high number.
We've juiced it a little bit because there's an extra team this year. They added an extra team at the last second. So, but still, even if you discount that.
So, and we've gone the whole tour without a French team win, correct?
Yeah,
so France de Jeux, Decathlon,
Cofidis,
Cofidis, Total Energies, Arkea. So 5 teams without a win. It's very important.
Who was the team they added on? Was it?
Would have been maybe Tudor.
It was Tudor.
It was Tudor.
And it's weird because isn't Tudor the official timing sponsor of the Tour de France?
That's not actually not weird at all. That's
strange.
I have a question for Sir Bradley because there was, and you guys will all remember this, in our generation, the teams were 9-rider teams. So which makes, you try to win a yellow jersey, defend a yellow jersey, it just makes it a little bit easier. Of course, years ago, they went down probably in order to allow yet another team into the race. They took it down to 8 riders per team. Thoughts on that?
I mean, it makes it a lot more difficult, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
You know, if you take out your GC guy, that means you've got 7 riders. If you've got a sprinter in there, you've got 6 guys that can control the race. I preferred it when it was 9
crashes.
I preferred it when
I agree. This is...
It's funny, going back to 1995, the year before Bjarne won the Tour, and of course Telecom's then dominance for the 2 years with Jan as well. In 95, ZG Mobile merged with Telecom for the Tour de France. They had 3 riders for Telecom and 5-6 riders for ZG Mobile that year. It was the only time they've ever done it. They've combined 2 teams.
Didn't the Colombian national team do that with another team at some point?
In the 80s.
In the 80s.
With Fabio Parra and all those.
Yeah. Didn't they merge with I feel like they did, or did they have a full squad? And Parra won a stage. Yeah.
I roomed with his brother, Ivan Parra.
Okay.
At the Tour with Cofidis. Remember him?
I do remember him.
Do you guys think these French teams not winning, probably not going to win if we're being completely honest? Like, what stages are they going to win?
Yeah.
But like, did you notice who the last man standing was today? Jonas Abrahamsen. Like, it's always the same aggressive people. Like, I'm trying to be diplomatic with this. Is there a mentality in these teams where it's like, oh, poor us, we're just here riding along, we don't stand a chance, versus like, why don't you get out there? Like,
well, as I said, I think there's too much pressure on. They put too much pressure on themselves. Yeah. And it starts building as the Tour goes on, particularly with a Frenchman winning yesterday who's on another team. That doesn't help the cause.
No.
You know?
But you see you call it a lottery pick like Uno X, they're affecting the race. So in hindsight,
they
deserve to be in. But you could Arkea, Vauquelin has been a factor. I mean, he's been in the race. So, okay. Team like Cofidis, I don't know. I mean, every now and again, you'll see him on TV, right?
Yeah.
Not affecting the race.
They caused a crash today.
If we go back, there's stages in the first week.
I think it was France de Jeux guy.
Well, both of them then.
Both of them, yeah.
There's a program that's got some answering to do, right? Frances, I was struggling to think of another. I mean, that's a team that I couldn't even think of it.
No,
right? This is a long running team led by a complete blabbermouth, Mark Matteo, who must just be just ripping at these guys every night. But they're not having anything to do with this bike race at all.
Yeah.
But there's stages in the first week where they're not in the breakaways. It's like look at Uno X. It's just like always on the front foot.
Tudor as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a Frenchman in Julien as well. He's played a big part. He was there yesterday.
I feel like they've been in the race.
They have been.
I'm totally.
Hershey was trying again today.
Yep.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, like they had a good ride on Bond too. They didn't win, but they're just there on the front
Had
foot.
two guys in the break the other day. Gave it everything. I mean, I'm down with that. Totally cool with that.
People really want to get into the weeds. Picnic Post-NL gets third today on the stage. A lot of UCI points. So now they're the last promoted team, and then Cofidis is out of the promotion zone in the relegation zone.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're going to get points with Oscar Onley at the finish.
Yep.
A lot of points, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe ends up fourth or third, fourth, fifth on GC.
It's a huge amount of points.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Time for the Ventum Daily Trivia. Yesterday's question. 2016 race leader and eventual winner Chris Froome famously ran up a portion of the slopes of Mont Ventoux. Big controversy here on set. Why was he forced to run? This is not a tricky one. Answer. His bike was badly damaged in a crash involving a moto in crowded roads. That does happen.
Yeah.
It shouldn't happen.
And our boy Thomas Dimitrov was in the car following him for his 50th birthday. That was kind of a special day for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stage 17 question. The Rhone Valley, location of stage 17, is known for peloton breaking winds. What formation do riders form to try and combat the winds? This one. Even I know that one. It's a peloton. No? No, it's not a peloton. That one's at Dia. That one's a little easy on the easy side. We're just giving money away. What is the formation they formed to protect themselves from the wind? I do get a lot of questions about the wind.
Yeah. Wind is, do you guys want it? The rule is a rider is not allowed to advance on the course without their bicycle.
Yeah.
That's the UCI rule.
I would invite anyone to watch that footage and tell me if that happened or not. I'm gonna go. I'm flying to Switzerland tonight. We need to.
No, you're not.
But did you actually?
You've got another
10 days ago.
No, more.
I dug into this.
12 days.
Yeah.
Here, kitty.
I dug into this last night, and apparently, Sky had a spin doctor who went. He's like now like a political spin doctor,
Like the old band, the One Hit Wonder.
Yeah, and his line was, "You have to give the commissaires you have to solve the commissaire's problem for them. Give them the answer." And so like after the stage, they all go in and they're probably like, "Oh my God, what do we do?"
Who was that? What was that guy's name? Alistair Campbell?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So he was Tony Blair's back in the day.
Yeah.
I knew Alistair a long time ago.
So
Interesting.
it's just kind of like a little funny backstory to that, where it's like giving them a simple solution that solves the problem of the disaster.
In other words, hypnosis.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
You will do what we say.
But that also shows the sophistication that Ineos or Sky was operating at versus FDJ probably doesn't have that.
Any questions?
Well, first question for you guys: what happens tomorrow? This is from Spencer in Boulder. Who wins tomorrow?
I'm going to say it's just some renegade climber that has nothing to lose and is going to get in the breakaway and hopefully get a big time gap. But at the same time,
It's very unpredictable.
it's very unpredictable because Jonas is going to want to win a stage.
Is he?
I think so. He's going to want to win a stage.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very hard to control. And by the route, if a breakaway does get away, the field still has to go really hard because they're not going to go easy up these climbs. So I can't imagine a breakaway getting a lot of time. And that last climb is, like I said, the hardest climb I've ever done. So even if their breakaway arrives there with 2-3 minutes, we saw what's happened in the past. The field with the GC favorites can catch them.
Okay. Well, here's the question: Does Jonas Vingegaard does he care that much about getting second? Because for me, I wouldn't care. Right, second place, first place loser. I don't care. So, and if you believe what you hear and watch them say in the post-race interviews, well, the quote is something to the effect of, well, we have to try something, right? If I think back to 2001, early in the stage, of course, later in the stage, we went over Jouplan, but early in the stage, Pantani goes away. I mean, in that 7-year run, there only one time where in my mind, I was like, uh-oh, what do we do now? Right. And that was, and you would have, if you listen into the race our radio communication, I was like, what is going on here? What do we do? Do we have, my point here is if he cares about getting second, he should just follow the wheel. If his only goal is to win the Tour or get 17th, doesn't matter. It's all in for the win. Then is there not a world where he goes on the Madeleine? I mean, and what does Tade do?
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw yesterday.
It's just a scenario. I'm not. Yeah. I mean,
it has happened before.
We have seen it.
The Tourmalet,
of course,
years ago.
Pantani did it in '98.
But I think there's no doubt he's going to try something, and he's going to send his team to go in the breakaway early on, and he's going to try the same sort of Giro tactic.
Well, this waiting to the end.
Yeah, you can't do that.
With the best rider of all time in the Tour de France, and maybe in the sport, or in the sport. That's not going to work. I mean, now you're just praying and hoping for a bad day, which seems lame. There might be a scenario that he sends it early.
Well, in 2023, he attacks over the Tourmalet, like a long way from the finish. Pogacar follows him, just the two of them. Wout van Aert's waiting. Oh my God, this is amazing. Yeah. And then Pogacar waxes him on the final climb. Yeah. So
it only works if he gets away.
Does that happen in cycling anymore?
I don't know.
Like, if they're climbing at 6 watts per kilo on these early climbs, can you get away?
Well, Jonas is saying he usually gets stronger the third week. We saw his performance yesterday. He was right on par with Pogacar. So maybe he tries to take advantage. Maybe Pogacar's illness is creeping up on him. Who knows? But we'd love to see some more exciting racing.
I think it's really clear. I think if they mean what they say, that quote unquote, we have to try something, and all they care about is winning. I'm sort of assuming on that one. Yeah. Then you got to mix it up. And maybe I'm saying this selfishly because it would make for incredible TV and make for a hell of a race to watch.
And on the climb like Ventum yesterday, if they were to turn around at the top, come back down and do it again, would you have the same result? Or does Jonas drop him? I mean, I don't think he does. But
I don't think he does either.
You know, multiple climbs, he's got to start early.
Well, the problem too with their strategy is when they have these guys wait, like on Ventum. Yeah, but the problem is Benut's pace is letting Pogacar rest.
Exactly. That's so the problem you got.
Yeah, you have to get away from Pogacar and then get to your teammates.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, I don't know. You
shall see tomorrow.
Yeah, we should. Maybe the YouTubers will chime in on that one.
Here's one. Sometimes we lose contact with the common person. So Debbie wrote in. I think this is a very good, simple question.
George loses contact with the common person. Everybody else on the set here is a man of the people.
George asked me what a grocery store was the other day.
He was years ago. Years ago, homeboy.
Wait, Spencino's jumping on the bandwagon. The bandwagon.
What's funny is we're neighbors, not in the least fancy.
Years ago, all of a sudden, I didn't even know they delivered groceries. This was like early days of grocery delivery, and George, like this, just like 18-wheeler pulls up with groceries, and I was like, "What is going on here?" And George is online ordering groceries. Anyways. Go ahead for Debbie.
So, for those of us who pop into the sport only to watch the Tour de France, it seems odd to have Tade sitting on the wheel of Jonas and others for the whole race and then sprints at the end to win. With this strategy, it seems like Jonas is just being a great teammate for Tade, pulling him the whole way. That's not a bad point, Debbie. Can you explain why Jonas doesn't sit on Tade's wheel and follow the same tactic? Why would that not work?
Well, she's figured out the Tour de France tactics. What Wiesman's doing wrong.
Yeah, Debbie's a special advisor to.
Yeah, she's right. But she's right. But just keep in mind. I mean, we are talking about the GOAT, and it's his game, and people got to play by his. He's that good. It's hard. Yeah. I mean, it's easy for us to sit around and kick around, and other people to ask about, but it's hard to defend. This just goes back to what I said a second ago. Mix it up. I don't know.
Well, and if you sit on his wheel, he's just going to ride a pace that's comfortable for him. He'll never get in trouble.
Yeah.
And Visma has to try to make him uncomfortable so they can drop him.
Because UAE will ride Pogacar's pace, whatever he wants, and they'll be in even more control.
Yeah,
they have to do
and he
something.
still has a team that can support him. There's other teams in the race that are going to be supporting their interests, right? Whether it's fight for the podium, Team GC, fight for the top 10. You're always going to find folks that these aren't individual time trials every day. There's always politics and posturing that goes on within the peloton.
Yeah.
So, and interest.
And they have to keep trying. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like we're clowning on Visma. It's like they've got to try something.
Yeah.
No, and let's see. That's what they'd start for. That it?
That's it.
Debbie's the last one.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow for the Queen stage. Almost 5,500 meters of climbing. Nasty. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all tomorrow.